Hello, friends. Welcome to this series in which we are discussing the multiple choice questions on Indian polity. So, this is the 11th video in the series in which we will be discussing 10 multiple choice questions on amendment of the Constitution and basic structure of the Constitution. So, let us start. First question is, a constitutional amendment bill related to taxation or money matters can be introduced in. Options are A. Rajya Sabha only, B. Lok Sabha only, C. Either House of Parliament, or D. Either House of Parliament or State Legislature. The correct answer is C. Either House of Parliament. So even if it is a bill related to taxation or money matters, we should not forget that it is a constitutional amendment bill. Therefore, it can be introduced in either House of Parliament. However, had it been an ordinary bill and a money bill for that matter, then it could be introduced only in Lok Sabha. But you have to remember that there is a difference between a money bill and a constitutional amendment bill. So a constitutional amendment bill can be introduced in either House of Parliament and it cannot be introduced in state legislature, since a constitutional amendment can only originate from the union government, that is from the parliament, and not from the state legislature. Second question, in case of a deadlock between both the houses of parliament vis-a-vis a constitutional amendment bill, what happens next? The options are A. The president convenes a joint sitting, B. The president can pass an executive order, C. An ordinance can be issued, or D. None of the above. The correct answer is D. None of the above. So in case a constitutional amendment bill is passed by one house but is not ratified by the other house, in that case nothing can be done about that bill unless and until the other house passes that bill. In extreme circumstances, the bill may even lapse, but the president cannot convene a joint sitting. It is possible only in case of an ordinary bill. The president cannot pass an executive order because a constitutional amendment cannot be effected by an executive order, and an ordinance also cannot be issued to amend the constitution. So all these bars have been placed in the constitution, since constitutional amendment is a very significant and very important task, so it cannot be done through all these shortcut methods. Third question, which of the following procedures of amendment are not mentioned under Article 368 of the Constitution of India? The options are A. By special majority of Parliament, B. By special majority of Parliament and consent of half the state legislatures, C. Both A and B, or D. By simple majority of Parliament. The correct answer is D. By simple majority of Parliament. So all other two procedures are mentioned under Article 368 of the Constitution. So had not been there, the question would have been, which of the following procedures are mentioned under Article 368? The answer would be C, both A and B. Question number 4. When a constitutional amendment bill requires the consent of at least half the state legislatures after the approval of Parliament, the consent has to be obtained within, options are 6 months after the approval of Parliament, B. 1 year after the approval of Parliament, C. 3 months after the approval of Parliament, or D. No time limit has been prescribed. The correct answer is D. No time limit has been prescribed. So once the Parliament has passed a constitutional amendment bill and sent it to the state legislatures for their consent, the states may take as much time as they want, and no such time limit has been prescribed under the Constitution. Fifth question, which of the following provisions of the Constitution can be amended by simple majority of Parliament? The options are A. Creation of Legislative Council in a state, B. Directive Principles of State Policy, C. 7th Schedule of the Constitution, or D. All of the above. The correct answer is A. Creation of Legislative Council in a state. This is the only provision in this list that can be amended by simple majority. To amend the directive principles, special majority of Parliament is required, and to amend the 7th Schedule of the Constitution, that is the schedule in which all the three lists, union list, state list and concurrent list, are located, this schedule can be amended by the special majority of parliament as well as the consent of at least half the state legislatures, since it changes the federal nature of the Indian constitution. Therefore, only this particular provision can be amended by simple majority of parliament. Question number 6. Which constitutional amendment gave the parliament unlimited power to amend the constitution? Options: A. 42nd Amendment, B. 1st Amendment, C. 11th Amendment, or D. 24th Amendment. Correct answer is D. 24th Constitutional Amendment. So the then Prime Minister Ms. Indira Gandhi had passed this particular constitutional amendment, thereby giving the Parliament of India unprecedented and unlimited power to amend any part of the constitution. Seventh question. The doctrine of basic structure owes its origin to. The options are A. Executive order, B. Judicial pronouncement, C. Legislative intent, or D. Civil society activism. The correct answer is B. Judicial pronouncement. So it was actually by the judiciary in a case called Keswanand Bharti versus State of Kerala in the year 1973. So this judgment was pronounced on 24th of April 1973, that 2 days back it completed 47 years of its pronouncement. So this particular judgment is known as the landmark judgment in Indian judicial history, was delivered by a 13-judge bench of the Supreme Court of India, which is the largest bench in the history of India. And this particular judgment laid down the doctrine of basic structure, which laid down that there are particular provisions of the constitution that cannot be amended even by the Parliament of India. Eighth question. Which of the following provisions was affirmed as the basic structure of the Indian Constitution by the Supreme Court in the S.R. Bommai case? The options are A. Democracy, B. Socialism, C. Secularism, or D. Judicial review. The correct answer is C. Secularism. So this particular case decision was pronounced in the year 1994, and in S.R. Bommai case, the issue that was taken up was that in the aftermath of the demolition of Babri Masjid in Ayodhya in the year 1992, the central government had promulgated Article 356, that is the President's rule or state emergency in various BJP ruled states, citing that the rule in these BJP states goes against the secular principles of the Indian Constitution. Therefore, to safeguard the secular credentials of the Indian Constitution, these state governments have to be suspended. And this particular order of the central government was upheld by the Supreme Court in S.R. Bommai case, and it reaffirmed that secularism is the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Ninth question. Which of the following has not yet been declared as the basic structure of the Indian Constitution? The options are A. Federalism, B. Fundamental rights, C. Judicial review, or D. Fundamental duties. The answer is D. Fundamental duties. So all other three have been declared as the basic structure of the Constitution in various judgments of the Supreme Court. Last question is, which Supreme Court judgment upheld Parliament's power to amend fundamental rights of the Constitution? So in a particular judgment, the Supreme Court had upheld that the Parliament can not only amend fundamental rights, but the Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution of India. The judgment, which later on was criticized a lot by various jurists and legal personalities. So the options are A. Golaknath case, B. Keswanand Bharti case, C. Shankari Prasad case, or D. Minerva Mills case. The answer is C. Shankari Prasad case. So in this case, the Supreme Court had held that the Parliament can amend virtually any part of the Constitution. So this case was in the formative years of the Indian Republic. Therefore, the Supreme Court laid undue trust on the Parliament of India. However, later on, various politicians and prime ministers started misusing the provisions of the constitution, and that is why in the Keshavananda Bharati case in 1973 the basic structure doctrine was laid down, and the Shankari Prasad judgment was overturned in the Golaknath case. So Shankari Prasad case is the answer. So thank you everyone for watching. Please mention your comments, mention your score in the comment section. Thank you.